I'm going to share with you some of the biggest mistakes that I made as a probation officer and that I see other probation officers make. I don't want you to make these mistakes. All right, let's go. Mistake number one, especially when you are just starting out, it happens to all of us all the way through. Forgetting your life. Your life is just as important as your work life. Do not forget your life. Do not forget your relationships, your hobbies, the things that actually interest you. As much as we want to be there for our job, we want to be there for the people that we are working with, you still have your life. So you need to make sure that you actually carve out the time for your life and the things that are important to you. You need a full life. Life isn't just about work, and also it brings that sense of enjoyment back into your time, because working for probation, it can be a serious, challenging job that you still want to actually have fun in your life. And you want your life to have meaning outside of your work, so that when you stop work, that you don't feel like, who am I anymore? That you are still a whole person without your job. These all kind of interweave. So don't sacrifice all of you. Being the kind of people that we are that get into these jobs, we can put all and everything into it. That by the end of the day, we feel like we're just getting a scrap, and we feel like our energy is just drained because we've given everything to everyone. So don't make yourself too available to people's demands within the job. So you really have to get good at setting boundaries and managing your time. I do actually talk about this in my book, Success on Probation, a step-by-step system to reform your life and release yourself from your mental jail. Go and read it, it's got everything in there for you. Don't become passive. In this environment, you do have strong managers that are just going to be giving you loads more work constantly. If you're the kind of person that is not able to say no, or is not able to say, hold on a minute, give me a break, and just sit there and take this on, then it's not going to be helpful in the long run, and they know which people are more likely to take things on than others. Also, in terms of not being passive, if you want something, you need to look for that opportunity and go for it. So when I was there, I was wanting to change job roles. So I went to my manager. My first manager was not so good with helping me do that. So I sought out the information. I went on a little hunt and thought, okay, what information is there that can help me reach to the next stage in my career? So don't be passive and sit back and wait for things to happen for you, because it's not going to happen that way. I feel like this one is the most important. Don't become overly punitive. I've seen it happen where people respond with risk, and you become very risk averse, and you forget actually all the research that talks about not going in with risk-minded approach all the time and being overly punitive. But sometimes being in the system, you find certain decisions are made more from a punitive stance. I'll explain in the next portion how you can actually steer away from that. Probably an obvious one, but not so obvious when you're actually working there, but don't let your frustrations out on your service users. The nature of the job, it can be very frustrating. You can deal with so many different service users who you might feel let down by, but don't let this out on them. Each person is individual. The service is a separate thing. Don't let that frustration out on them. So keep yourself in check all the time. Maybe easier said than done, but I'll give you some tips for how in a moment. One thing that was quite common, don't stop believing in yourself. So yes, you're a probation officer, you've got a great job, it's what you always wanted, but there may be a time in your probation career where you want to do something, you want to step up to the next level, you want to take on this thing. And sometimes our belief, we can keep ourselves small, put so much energy into other people, we're not really working on our own development and believing in ourselves. So this is one thing that is at the core of all of my programs, my tutoring and my coaching program, is developing that self-belief, because I know that you are capable of doing bigger things and you have a lot of potential if that is what you want to do. And the last one probably relates to work-life balance as well. Do not get into a pattern of working late. Some people love to come in late, work late, and if that suits you, honestly, fine, but I didn't really find that pattern was healthy for me. staying late, not being very productive when it's late at night, and it can become just a habit of, oh, I'll just get this one thing done, I'll just get this next thing done, when in reality it's probably a reflection that you are struggling to manage your time. Let me go into tips for how you can actually manage these different things so you can deal with it a bit better. First things in terms of managing work-life balance, figure out actually what do you like. Have you let any hobbies slide? Think of some new hobbies that you want to pick up. For me, I really keep saying this, and I need to do it this year. Please someone hold me accountable, but I want to do roller skating. Think of what hobbies, I've recently done, well, not recently, but throughout my probation career, I was doing martial arts. So if it's like exercise stuff, some kind of social activity, some kind of creative hobby, pick something back up, or start something again. Just so you've got another outlet where you're using a different side of your mind and your brain to help you de-stress and take you away from the job. Please do this. Take your annual leave. Don't let your annual leave go to waste. So the best thing to do for this is plan your annual leave in advance. Not only does it give you something to look forward to, it helps you manage your time, because you're going to have meetings, parole boards that are going to be booked in like 3 months in advance. If you've got holiday, you know not to book something in, and it's just going to be less stress trying to manage your diary all the time. Another top tip, get used to setting clear boundaries so that you're not overstretching your time. So this is boundaries with your service users and boundaries with other staff, with workload, with managers. In my programs, I actually go through how you can be more assertive and how you can start actually practice setting boundaries, because if it's something that you've not been so good at before, it does take practice and time to actually implement these kind of things, and you will learn. If you are brand new watching this, brand new probation officer, or you're thinking about doing the training, all of these things that I talk about, it's not like you're going to just implement that and straight away, but the fact that you're even thinking about these things shows that you've got that awareness and you want to change and develop as a person, which is always brilliant within a career and also for your own personal self too. Okay, how can you deal with not becoming overly punitive? It may be easier said than done, but do keep up with criminology research. You might get bulletins in the email from probation, but keeping that up helps you actually get out of that tunnel vision of probation and risk and all the challenges, and helps you actually see what research is being done about what actually works with working with offenders. And often what works is not the punitive risk road. And the last one, for helping you believe in yourself, have people around you that are supportive, that support your goals and your visions, and set yourself goals. Just because you might have been a probation officer for a couple of years now, you can still have goals for career, for your life. Have someone to keep you accountable, which is again something I'd offer in my coaching programs, that level of accountability. So think about what you are offering to your service users. Start offering that to yourself. I hope this video was really useful. Get subscribing. I want to try and reach 1,000 subscribers. So get sharing these videos, get subscribing, and thank you so much for all of you that's already subscribing and that message me on Instagram. Like I said, I offer a full-on coaching program. I also offer probation clinics, which are now once a month, where you can get access to my expert advice and get support with your application forms and really just get that valuable help that you're looking for.